Today, we are diving deep into procrastination. But listen, we're not going to talk about willpower or just being lazy. Nope. We're going to treat this like a science problem. Because that's what it is. It's this silent thief that just sneaks in and steals our best ideas, our biggest opportunities, and you know what? Ultimately, our happiness. So, tell me if this sounds familiar. You've got this absolutely brilliant idea, right? Maybe it's for an app, a YouTube series, a new business, whatever. You get all excited, you plan it out, and then you wait. And a few months later, you're scrolling online, and there it is. Someone else is celebrating the exact success that should have been yours. It's a gut punch. And you know, this isn't some hypothetical story. It happens all the time. I know one entrepreneur who saw the potential for YouTube clip channels literally years before they blew up, but he just hesitated. And the person who didn't hesitate, well, they ended up making millions. The crazy part is the difference wasn't talent, it wasn't luck, it was just the power to act. And here's the good news, that power, it's a skill. It's something you can actually build. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to talk about the true cost of waiting. Then we'll uncover the emotion that's really hiding behind it all. I've got a 3-step takedown plan for you, plus 3 hacks for instant action, and then we'll talk about your very next move. Okay, first things first, we have to respect the enemy here. We usually think of procrastination as, just missing a deadline. No big deal. But the research, especially from guys like Cambridge-educated Dr. Ali Abdaal, shows that the consequences go way, way deeper than that. Let's really break this down. So first, the obvious one. You fail more. You keep pushing deadlines and eventually you're going to miss them. That hurts your reputation, for sure. Second, and this is wild, it literally makes you sick. All that chronic stress from rushing, from blaming yourself, it just hammers your immune system. Plus, think about it. If you procrastinate on work, you're probably procrastinating on going to the gym and making that doctor's appointment too. And third, it just crushes your happiness. Psychologists have found that the regret from not doing something is way more painful and lasts much longer than the regret from trying something and messing up. It makes you feel like a passenger in your own life. So if it's so damaging, why is it so incredibly hard to stop? The answer to that question is the key to everything. This isn't about laziness, and it's not about time management. It's something else entirely.
This one sentence right here changes everything. It means we're not lazy, you're not broken, you're just a human being trying to deal with some tough emotions. And really, truly understanding this is the first real step to taking back control.
So here's the modern psychological take. We procrastinate to stop feeling bad in this moment. When we're looking at a task that makes us feel anxious or bored or insecure, our brain's #1 priority isn't finishing the task, it's getting rid of that bad feeling. So what do? We open up social media, we watch a video, we do anything for that quick little mood boost, even though we know deep down it's going to make us feel worse later on. So what is this negative feeling we're running from? Well, almost always it's some kind of fear. So take a look at this list and be really honest with yourself. When you put off that big project, which one of these is actually hiding underneath it all? Is it the fear that you're going to fail? Or hey, maybe it's even the fear that you'll succeed and you won't feel like you deserve it. Just identifying that specific fear is the first step to taking away its power. Okay, so we're not fighting some deep character flaw, right? We're fighting an emotional habit. And the great thing about habits is that we can use a concrete strategy to rewire our brain's response. So let's get into the 3-step plan for making that long-term change. So the foundation is this 3-part strategy. First, we have to make our fear manageable. Second, we create a really compelling vision that pulls us forward. And third, we design our environment so that taking action is just the easy default thing to do. Today, we're going to dive deep into that crucial first step, shrinking your fear. So step 1, shrink your fear. Think of it this way. Your brain really struggles with a vague, fuzzy feeling of anxiety. It's like a monster hiding in the dark. But the second you drag it out into the light, you write it down and give it a name, like, I'm afraid of looking stupid in the meeting, it stops being a monster. It becomes a concrete problem. And your brain, it is an incredible problem-solving machine. Naming the fear turns it from a monster into a puzzle you can actually solve. Now, naming your fear is a super powerful long-term strategy. But what about right now, like in this moment when you're staring at a task and you feel completely and totally stuck? For that, we need some instant action hacks to just break through that paralysis. This right here is the core principle. It's the magic trick. Our brains freeze up when they see the entire mountain we have to climb. The key is to completely ignore the mountain and just focus on the very first, ridiculously small step. Don't think, write the report. Just think, open a new document. That's it. Okay, so let's look at 3 super powerful techniques. First, there's the 5-minute hard reset. This comes from neuroscientist Andrew Huberman. You just do something physically hard for a few minutes. It resets your nervous system and makes the mental fear of your real task seem so much smaller. Second, the start now rule. Break your task down to its tiniest piece, and then set the deadline for that tiny piece to right now. This just bypasses that whole emotional debate your brain wants to have. And third, the painful schedule. Turn those vague goals into a detailed, concrete plan. Yeah, it's a little tough up front because it forces you to face reality, but that clarity is exactly what kills the anxiety of the unknown. All right, we have diagnosed the problem. We have covered the strategies. We know the what, the why, and the how. But you know what? All of this knowledge is completely useless without one final ingredient: action. You see this number? Over 1,000. That represents the compositions of Bach. Mozart wrote over 600. We remember their masterpieces, right? But the reality is they produced a massive, massive volume of work. Their genius wasn't about perfection, it was about relentless action. Success is a numbers game, and you simply cannot win if you're not even in the game. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Forget about the giant goal for a second. Forget the fear. What is the one tiny, impossibly small step you can take the second this is over? The entire journey you want to be on, it's just waiting for you to take that first step. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build the hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.